think I ended up designing in Scotland, in Aberdeen, and I came home 24 years of age. Yeah, I turned 25 in the March, and a friend of mine, John, a civil engineer, I said to him, I don't know what to do next, and he said there's only one thing to do, and that's go out on your own, which was always the plan. And it was January the 2nd, if I remember correctly, and I had a car which wasn't suited for landscaping at all. I had no tools. I just found a place to rent, and we ended up taking on a garden that nobody else wanted to take on, which was 3 stories at the back, 2 stories at the front. The garden was obviously down on the lower back level, and the trajectory of the staircase was about a -17-degree angle. So for those who are gathering where this is going, you can't fill a wheelbarrow because it tip over. You can't carry bags that are too heavy because you'll fall over. Cranes were a little bit trickier because of space and weight calculations as well, over distance. But we took it on, and it became the first one in a nice area of Dublin, but one led to the other and led to the other, and I ended up working 18 hours a day. I had friends who were really kind to me, who stood by my side and helped me, I guess, to get the first garden. Isn't that always the one that you're most concerned about across the line? And from there, ultimately, I'll be brutally honest, it sort of just snowballed. People had found out that I was sort of back home. I think I had a decent enough name as it stood, but the internet wasn't really a thing, so you couldn't do it maybe as easily as you can do now. We ended up taking on a golf course within a year, a couple of other private estates, and I think that was 01, and by 07, certainly 08, we'd completed 2 show gardens, and we'd done 2 3-year builds. So one would have started 04, ended in 07, and one started 05 and ended 08. And it was for the design and build or realisation, if you will, of a 55-acre 18th century estate and a 27-acre 17th century estate. So we had sort of, I think the funny thing at the time when I look back on 01 was the amount of people who said to me, is this your dad's business? Because there was a sort of perception that inverted commas man in landscaping or man in gardens was a guy with a beard and a woolly jumper and a pencil hidden somewhere in a nest of hair, and I don't know, maybe it was a bit young looking. And I think we reckoned, or I reckoned in my head, that having old school, quintessentially British landscape design, if I may, that it became a little bit easier to cross that sort of line or threshold. And after that, I think that was maybe the first 5, 6, 7 certainly formative years of the business. It's funny when you sort of go out on your own, because I think everybody seems to say that the first year is the hardest one to stay afloat. And then I said to Dad, rest his soul, like, what do I do now a year in business? He said, oh, you're just going to stay in business for another year, and so on. The story goes, and now I'm a little bit older and bolder, but I'm very, I can't emphasize enough, the goals might be bigger, the targets might be bigger, the show gardens, the places, the locations might be a little bit bigger and brighter. But I will say, hand on heart, when you borrow the tools for your first job, when your friends are helping you in the evening time, when I remember one friend of mine, and he printed me a one fleece, which was the done thing with a logo on it, and one t-shirt, and that's all I had. So in the depths of January, you can't wear the same t-shirt for 5 days, but you wanted the logo on the outside. We were all very proud of it, but I think there's sort of moments in there which certainly made the, we'll call it a company now. Yeah.